1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. So there's something I wanted to say. I kind of said a little touch of it if you guys have ever gone to one of my original videos. It was a long one where I explained my experience and why I do things the way I do and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know how much I really explained it the right way. So I'm gonna try. Okay? I'm hungry, so I'm gonna eat. I just did my intermittent fast and all that kind of stuff. So it's something you guys my age might want to look at. Anyways, so as you get older, you get more used to doing things a certain way. And I'm not talking mentally, I'm talking motor skills are cultured in you. So they're like neural pathways. The Bible says the more as a man thinks, so he becomes. And so that's a medical scientific fact in which if you think a certain way, it's like your brain carves out these neural pathways and takes you there easier each time, right? It's almost like cache memory in a computer, right? And so that happens with us physically as well. And that's why I went into another video there about slow training. I'm doing slow training, doing the technique like 1,000 times or something like that, or more. And that's why we box, you know, multiple hours. We work on those knife disarms over and over and over and over and over and over and over kind of deal, right? And so, but it always comes down to what your body is comfortable with, and subconsciously where you think you're strong and where you think you're weak. And so I mentioned something once before about, you know, your fighting style, where your strengths are, okay? Some guys may be a stand-up fighter and that's their strength, and they're able to dodge a takedown and really hammer everybody, maybe really accurate, or they're maybe powerful and they're able to hit that at the right time, hit somebody. Other guys may go directly to the grappling, like they feel comfortable getting up close and working on the grappling, you know, smothering somebody, okay? Some may have both. But I've shared this before. For me, I've had an operation on my shoulder. I had this thing basically almost torn off my body kind of deal. And so I had to get, if you see there's a scar that goes right from here to here, right? It goes all the way down. They almost took my shoulder right off kind of deal. This arm's been broken numerous times, all that kind of stuff, all these kind of deals. And so subconsciously, and no matter how much I tell myself, I will always feel a bit weak in this arm, and I may not be. Okay, so when an emergency situation comes, okay, I am gonna move to how I've adapted. Okay, and how I've adapted is I changed my boxing. Right, I changed it to my lead hand, my power hand is now my lead hand. So that helps me with my style because I'm a smotherer. Right, I don't want to stand there and bang with you, although I could. I've got the experience, right? 35 years of it kind of deal, but I feel more comfortable smothering. So I want to use this as a setup and get in kind of deal, whether I'm going to eye gouge at the end or headbutt or rip an ear off or stick my finger straight up your nose and tear it out inside, whatever kind of deal. But in an emergency situation, no matter what I've taught myself in the last little bit, I will always go back to what seems natural to me. And you'll notice this with a lot of guys who are like kung fu guys, or or Krav Maga or something like that. When it comes down to actually fighting somebody, all those techniques and all those things just kind of fly out the window, and before you know it, they're doing stand-up and they're wrestling and they're doing takedowns, and maybe they know a submission or two, but it's usually just ground and pound. So they kind of revert back to their almost the basest fighting skills they have. And so that's why I'm saying, if you feel like in an emergency situation, you know, or in a fight or whatever like that, you're trying to protect your family or yourself kind of deal, that all of a sudden all this stuff, these fancy things, fly out the window and you end up just standing there and trading kind of deal, okay, then that's a sign. That's a sign that you should be focusing on other things, focusing on your strengths, right? Okay, if if you're a smother, a ground and pound kind of guy, or whatever like that, then focus on getting into their zone, right? Okay, so bridging the gap kind of deal into their space, or punching somebody to get into their space, and then practice takedowns kind of deal, and then do damage from there. If you hate wrestling, I mean, you should at least know the basics, because everybody, it goes back to the old adage, most fights end up on the ground, right? And I know it's gone from that, where we talked about that earlier, to where guys are saying, no, it doesn't always end up there, that was just a myth. That's a myth simply in the MMA world, because they now have stand-up rules to pick you up off the ground, and they have rounds. But in the early days, it was like, do your thing, man, do your thing. And it almost always ended up on the ground if it was two wrestlers. Even if it wasn't two wrestlers, one guy would knock one guy down, or jiu-jitsu guy, and all of a sudden, it ended up on the ground kind of deal. But so what I'm saying here is I'm gonna go, after I get done this, I'm gonna show you part 2 of that takedown the other day, and I'm gonna show you why I do it, because a lot of you guys are probably saying, you went shooting in, and instead of reaching out with this arm and hooking on, you went with this arm. And that's right. And that's because this is my strongest arm. This is the arm that's going to get it done subconsciously, even though I've done this for years. This is still the strength. This is the go-to. This is when fight or flight hits, this is going to be my strength arm. This is what I'm going to rely on. So I'm going to develop that. Even when it comes to takedowns, when it comes to punching or like that, I'm going to develop that into just a monstrous machine. Kind of deal, you know what I'm saying? Monstrous machine. I'm the best. Be humble. No, I'm just kidding. Joking. So you should take an honest evaluation of yourself and think, what are my strengths? You should know the other stuff, but you should certainly develop your strengths. Okay, and we'll head into part 2 of that takedown drill right after this. Okay. Anyways, bon appetit. Still here? Okay, so last video we did a shooting drill in which I showed you a basic shot. I just explained to you while I was eating my breakfast why I did it that certain way, and what has to do with our own separate body mechanics, right? Okay, so the drill yesterday we had, okay, the other day was you know what, we go forward, bang, 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 he goes backwards, okay, then we draw back, and it always seems to draw guys in. And so what happens, just not too close right now, okay, so when he comes in, then we drop, and we scoop in, okay? And so there's a number of ways. I showed you the one way of, I mean, from here we can just simply put our hand down here and just twist, take them down, right? Okay, so we have that. We also, something maybe I didn't show you. Okay, set it up again here. Okay, so I'm in, bang, I'm around like this, and then I go straight up, okay? Straight up, right? Okay, we did show that what I called the berry crusher, where you can boom into the crowd. See, just the thought of that makes him wince. He was asleep another night in his bed crying out, saying, no, not the berry! No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, so there's that right there. So those two. And now a lot of you were thinking, if you take a look at Olympic wrestling and the way those guys shoot in, it's a little bit like when we do knife fighting. So actually, let me get a knife here real quick. When you fight with knife and stick, okay, it's not like this. Okay, it's not like this. Okay, like that. Okay, it's like. Okay, and why was that? Because if I'm reaching down to slash or to stab, okay, I've got that far, right? Okay, now turn my body the other way. Okay, now look how much farther place I got, like that, right? Okay, so some of you were saying, hey, you know what? When it comes to wrestling and Olympic wrestling and takedowns and all that, here, you want to set up again? Okay, you're always leading with this leg in and to hook in like that. Okay, so spin around the other way just in case. No, I mean put the other foot forward. Okay, in case you run into, you were move back. Okay, a regular stance, right? So he was in southpaw there. A regular stance, our idea is to go for the front of the leg, right? Okay, so because see, when I'm right here and I shoot in, okay, I've already got my arms already that much closer. Okay. Random noise. My arms already closer, and so it becomes an issue of my body just getting in there. Okay, so what's the first thing we do is we drop, right? They would call it, if you'd watch any Olympic wrestling or jiu-jitsu or MMA, they'll say changing levels. Okay, so we want to get into here. We always want to drive off the back leg. Okay, driving off of it's like not trying to pull yourself forward, but trying to shotgun yourself out of there. Okay, so now this can be done many different ways. You can, okay, so hang on, we're going bang, bang, bang. He comes, remember, we never go back, we never go in here and then shoot in. I mean, on the rare occasion, if he just stands still and you get close enough, you can go in. But most times you want him to be coming forward to you, in which you'll drop, change levels, and then you shoot in, okay? Shoot in to that leg right there, okay? And then, bear crusher. No, I'm just kidding. Plum juicer. Anyways, okay, it can be that way, okay? So let's do that really quickly again. So you're going regular. So bang, 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 bang. I'm saving motion, and bang, it's in. Okay. Okay, I'm not going like this. I'm not going like this. It's one motion. I'm shooting myself off. If you guys want to practice this, throw a knee pad on if you don't have like a padded area, a wrestling mat like I have here. Okay, so we're coming. All of a sudden I plant this foot right here. Okay, I drop, I shoot off. Boom! And that leg, and I've got multiple things to do. Now, I can show you some real bad tricks in taking them down, but I'm not gonna. There is another one too. Yeah, I'm gonna show you. Okay, all right, but I'm not gonna do it too hard, okay? Hard. It's always the little words, right? The descriptive words. Right? It's like small print on that, you know. Okay, so bang, bang, bang. I drop down, I grab on. The guy's really planted, okay? Really planted. I want to take his thoughts off of just trying to get out of this. So I'm gonna reach in and I'm gonna bite him on the leg. If I can get an interior where all the nerves are, that's even better. So I reach in, like that. All of his trying to stay up. His mindset swaps to what? I got to get that leg off, and so he starts moving around, in which I can just go like this. I can heel pick him. So I reach for the other, right? Anyway, I didn't see. Anyways, so let's try that again, okay? So as opposed to yesterday, where I come in like this and I scoop like that, okay, which is still really good because that's my arm, the way my body's built and the way I've practiced, that's my strong go-to, my shoot, right? Okay, but, okay, if I've come in and he's a regular stance, but what I mean by goof, okay, so regular stance with my left arm forward, okay, and then there's southpaw, okay, where my left hand is the kind of deal, okay, and that's the way I fight. It's not the way I was born, it's the way I fight. So, okay, so look at, okay, so here we go. So it's just a quick drop, fold, hook, okay, and you can do many things from there. You can just keep driving, okay, driving in. You can also reach, but when you go like this, more like he's going to kick his foot back, okay, back, to try to counteract this, okay, in which you can just heel hook here, push down. I'm not going to throw you on top of things, okay? Like that. Okay, stand up again. Okay, then come on, over here. So I've got in, okay, cross my arms like this. I pull it in like this. He's giving me lots of trouble. He's giving me a couple shots on the top of the head. Okay, bang, like that. He in like this, and I just drive. Okay. Okay, many ways to do it. Some people say, well, how do you bite? How do you bite? What a question. Anyways, the best way to do is bite as hard as you can, or do it 3/4 pressure multiple times. I'll do that again for slow motion, ready? Oh, forget it. Okay, so that's the way it goes. So let's go through this again, okay? One more time. Square up. He's in a regular stance. Okay, I'm like this, and all of a sudden I play possum a bit, or chicken, and all I gotta do is sweep down like that, okay? And there's so many things I can do from that. He may turn and try to run out of this, right? In which I just hang on, and I just drop on the back of his knee, okay? Hook that foot and drop on the back of his knee. Okay, so I'm sure there'll be questions. Don't worry, send them, kind of deal. And I'll try to get into it. All right, go practice.
Now is your time, you must decide.